I Have a Question is where real conversations happen, unfiltered, honest, and rooted in the questions we're all thinking about but don't always want to say out loud.
From relationships and lifestyle to culture, identity, and everything in between, we're creating a space for talk, to laugh, and to question it all. Tune in every week for new episodes of I Have a Question. Send us your questions at ihaveaquestionja@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at I Have a Question Podcast JA.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel at I Have a Question Podcast. This is I Have a Question,
Where nothing is off limits
and everything is up for discussion. So I have a question, Jenna. How you do?
How you do?
How you do?
That's such a loaded question these days. I find that I don't want people to ask me that anymore.
Why?
Because my answer, I'm one of those people, I like sunshine and rainbows. I love all of that, the fairy tales and everything. And I don't want to be complaining. And I think the world has gone mad. And sometimes I just need to complain. Oh no, the world, it's a little heavy right now.
Make I help you? You say you think the world has gone mad?
Yes.
I have evidence that everybody has lost all their minds. I think I'm probably one of them because I don't know if you can stay sane in this current environment.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I'm going to just tell you that in the middle of all of this craziness, I am quite excited.
What are you excited about?
This, Jenna, this has been how many years in the making?
No, about if we really add it, it's been at least 10 years in the making.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yes, here we are.
We're podcasting.
Yeah, finally.
Finally.
Maybe it took the world going mad for us to get here.
It's probably adding to the madness, but at least it'll be fun.
Right. So how are you doing?
Well, I just told you, I'm excited. I'm really, there's a lot of things going on in the space right now, and a lot of people have a lot of things to say, and we're chatterboxes. If you know, you know. And so we have some things to say, and we're going to be saying it here because we have questions.
Right.
Well, I have a question.
I have a question. Most times of the day.
All right. Well, let's talk about the question of the day.
What is the question of the day?
Then sincere, look, tell me the question of the day, no?
So, do clothes really define respectability?
In this time?
Yes.
Well, from boardrooms to parties and everyday life, what we wear is judged, and it is constantly something that people have things to say.
Yeah.
Are we still living in the world where people are expected to dress a certain way, to girls to certain places? I remember a time when if you're going to be dressing corporate, you must wear stocking and you can't wear open-toe shoes. Do those rules still apply?
I think for some people they might.
Who are these people and how old are they?
They're very old and they're gatekeepers and they're just hanging around and they're everywhere and they're taking a long time to just mosey along and allow us open toe wearing, non-stocking wearing people, sleeveless shirt wearing people.
Sleeveless.
They're trying to stop us from thriving, and they do it quite often, and they might not do it overtly as they used to. Before they were empowered, right? So they could tell you, oh, what are you wearing? And that sort of a thing. Now they kind of just give you the eye, they whisper behind your back, but they're very much still around.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jenna. They're very much still overt. I mean, there are still government buildings that you try to go in sleeveless, and the security guard is going to let you know, you can't go in the building.
No. And I am so adamant whenever I see that. I find it an injustice. The Prime Minister had said they must stop doing that because the sleeveless is no longer part of, what that was rooted in, right? That was a way to oppress people. Because if you needed to get something done, historically, you'd have to go to a government office. Now, people who could afford a jacket would be the ones that were prioritized. So if you could not afford that, you would go in your short sleeve, no sleeve, whatever it was. And this was their way of basically segmenting you out, not giving you the services that you were due as a citizen. And this is something, it's rooted in classism. It's rooted in other isms. We won't even go there.
Do you know what I always find funny? How closely we hold on to these colonial rules, even many, many decades after the colony has left and the colony has updated their rules. We're still holding on to those little foolish rules.
But why do you think that is? I have a theory on...
I love the theory.
I have a theory.
Please. I love to hear the theory.
I think, and this, I recently came to this conclusion, and it's so sad. It's part of the world having gone mad. Mm-hmm. I think that people who were oppressed previously are now in positions of authority.
Oh, so they're getting their revenge?
They didn't like to be oppressed, but they don't mind being oppressors.
Oh.
So they are, it's almost like a power trip for them. It's like, okay, I mean, I didn't like this action, but if I'm not subject to it, then it doesn't matter. You know, yeah, everybody for themselves type of deal. And I think it's one of the ills of the human condition, because I would never say that it only happens here in Jamaica. Oh, no. But the fact that it does happen here, and it's just like the whole security guard complex too, you know, you know, like they're
in charge.
Yes, they're in charge.
They have the sense of power. And
Right. I don't earn a lot. I'm abused at work. However,
but I have control over this gate.
Yes.
I decide who comes in.
Yes. And you must listen to me, and I tell you where you must park. And you know what? I wait until you've parked and come out of your car, because I can make you get it back in that car. I make you move that car to go where I tell you to go.
Power is real.
Yes.
All right. Well, okay. So that's one angle of it. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. What about, all right, so I've noticed a trend with, there's a specific group of young men who have a certain style. Have on some really close fitting pants, so close you can see when they muscle flex into it. Then they have on a top that doesn't really go to, they don't connect with the pants. So it's like a belly skin vibe. And then the pants drop low and they can't really stand up straight. I don't know if it's the pants or if it's their knee. I don't know what's causing it, but they kind of have this posture in the close pants. And they have tattoos all over themselves. And their skin has been, let's say, enhanced.
Brightened.
And I don't know if there's a specific trend for this. I don't know if there's a class being taught, but I realize that there's a specific group of young Jamaican men who fit this description.
Right.
Tell me about that. Like what, and then how do you feel if you have a place of business then, and one of these gentlemen come to apply for a job wearing the outfit I just described to you? Respectability. How do you, what's your judgment of him? He's coming to look a job and this is his style, this is how I'm dressed.
So here's where I become, you see the human condition that we just talked about?
Yes.
So, you know, those gatekeepers that I complained about in the beginning? Here's where
the colonizer, you're the oppressor now.
I am now the oppressor, because now I look at him and I say, oh.
You don't want that in your business.
No, I don't even want to see it. I'm sorry. I can see his keys in his pocket.
And his phone.
Everything. I can see too much, I think. And you know, when they complain about women's clothing being too revealing, etc., it's like he's revealing way too, I'm seeing way too much and I don't want to. Also, I think that for a man, like, that's so body conscious. Bodycon is a female type of
yes, but what about the free? You see, that feels a little hypocrite, you know. That feels a little hypocrite, because on the other side of it, women can wear the close-fitted jeans. Listen, I have a jeans personally, you know. When I'm getting into that jeans, you should see the gymnastics I go on with, you know, which is another thing I think about all the time. Is this what these gentlemen do when they're trying to put on these jeans? Because I would like to see, I would watch that for entertainment, you know. I would pay to watch to see one of these gentlemen try to get into these pants, because the pants don't even look like it have stretch.
But I don't even know when that became a thing. Like, I keep looking, I I don't want to blame Cartel for the straight jeans and fitted, because straight jeans and fitted at the time wasn't as tight as this. This looks like painted on. Like, I don't know what is wrong with them.
They can't even stand up straight. They look like they just kind of have a little. I can't describe the posture. When you see it, if you know, you know. When you see it, you can recognize it.
But then what I also wonder is what it signals to, like, their peers. Like, are there girls of their age that are looking at them like, I want some of that?
I don't know, but I would imagine so, because if you think about all right, so you see, let me tell you, you're very hypocritical, Jenna. What we liked when we, in our youth, teenagers everybody was wearing baggy clothes. Remember crisscross turn them pants back and front? And old people walk up and down with them pants back to front. And it was the style. And everybody was wearing oversized clothes and sneakers, and that was the style. And this generation could look at that and say, what were you guys thinking? Like, ew, that don't look good. So, every young people have their own style and their own fashion sense. And sometimes it breaks a lot of norms and rules, and it questions whether or not you can have respect for the person who wears this kind of trend. Like what you see so far? Subscribe to our YouTube channel at I Have a Question Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at I Have a Question Podcast JA. Got a question? We want to hear from you. Send it to ihaveaquestionja@gmail.com. We'll be right back.
So what kind of job are these kind of trend clothes going for? Because honestly, this is also where the stereotypes come in.
Yes.
Because now I'm just thinking scammer, honestly. Like, because scamming doesn't have criteria for you to meet to do that.
When I say them going to do an interview to become a scammer, I don't say go, Jenna.
No, but what are they interviewing for?
I cannot with you.
What are they interviewing for?
Job, like maybe a call center job. Maybe they're going to one of those job fairs, because call centers have job fairs all the time where you can just bring your documents with you and you go there to apply for the job.
And that's fine, because nobody sees them in a call center, so I suppose it's okay.
Yeah, call centers have dress codes too.
Really?
So even if they do show up like that and they decide to give them the opportunity, maybe they have to adhere to some sort of dress code.
Oh.
Right? Anyway.
But speaking of dress code, you know that the country is supposed to have a dress code policy.
The country like Jamaica?
Yes, Jamaica. They're going to have a policy because of all this sleeveless issues and hair issues in schools and all of these things. So now it's going to be like a broad thing, right? That's supposed to come.
Schools.
I think it's schools and government offices and all of those things. But I do believe what I've heard of it is that they're trying to be as inclusive as possible to avoid all the major lawsuits, etc., that have taken place.
You know what? Y'all never asked me, but I'm going to give you my unsolicited advice anyway. Here are my rules when it comes to dress code, especially as it relates to adults. I'm going to get to the kids in a minute, but let's talk about adults for a minute. Leave women and them hair alone.
Yeah.
Leave men and them hair alone.
Yeah.
Right? So let's start there. As it relates to how you dress in an office space, I think it 100% depends on what your job is and where you work. Some people, like I said, work in a call center and they expect them to put on all of these suits and stockings and this whole heap of extra things. Ain't nobody seeing them. The whole purpose is supposed to be coverage, practicality, and protection.
And comfort.
And hygiene too, because you have to bed. Right? But I don't think we should get into the nitty-gritty of, your pants need to be 2 inches above your ankle and your dress needs to be, we don't want to see any body parts, and the body parts we're speaking of.
The private
Those parts should remain covered.
Right.
But I don't think we should get into the sort of details where I really think that sleeveless rule is absolutely crazy. Do you remember?
But it served a purpose in colonial times.
Jenna, it's 2026.
I know. But we've held on to a lot of other colonial things.
We should let go.
We absolutely should.
Now let's talk about the kids. I have unsolicited advice. Nobody ever asked me, but I'm going to say it too. when it comes to school uniforms, I think that some of the rules that they have is absolutely crazy. Again, we're talking about hygiene, coverage, safety, because we want to make sure that them protected, because, you know, they're in spaces where if them drop and scrape themselves or whatever, but general hygiene and that kind of thing.
Comfort. Why are you not saying
yes,
comfort?
Comfort. I said it. You know, you're mistake. I say it again. Comfort.
Yes.
Right? I get that there's a uniform, but I think that when you get into the hairstyle part of the conversation, it gets very ridiculous. I went to a school, a high school, where we were told we could not comb our hair in more than 3. And the reason for that is, if you don't comb your hair in more than 3, it's assumed that you don't comb your hair every day. If you don't comb your hair every day, you're going to get lice. Yes, it never made no sense then. The rule has since been changed, but I'm just letting you know that when it comes to these particular rules, that's just my general feelings. Hygiene, we definitely need to hit the hygiene mark, for sure. But outside of that, leave them alone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I think people are forgetting that clothing and hairstyles and all of these things are forms of self-expression. So they are messages being sent about who you are, who you see yourself as in the world, your identity, that sort of a thing. So I think when you restrict certain things, like I went to boarding school, and in boarding school, well, I went to 2 different ones. One was one encouraged the self-expression, I suppose, but there was another one that didn't. And it was like, once you go to school, you take off your uniform. In the evenings, you go to prep, which is like homework time, and you go to your break and you go to your supper, but you had to all wear white dresses. Yeah. And it's like, so you're in uniform again, basically. And then on Saturday, I think was the only day you could actually wear colored clothes. And then on Sunday, you're back in a white dress. So literally you had 1 day a week to show your self-expression. And the hairstyle thing there was very interesting, because I think they had their own ideas of what an appropriate hairstyle was. So, it was the 90s, guys, and I loved a messy bun right on the top of my head, and I could do it. And I remember once the principal came and looked at me, and she looks at Miss Fakuri. Yes. What is that? It's a bun. Have you combed it? Yes, Mrs. Logan. And then she was like, so we can't have you wearing that. Why? Why, Mrs. Logan? Because you might set a trend, and that is not
They don't want that.
Proper, right? You understand? So, and there were, and I find pictures of me in high school with this messy bun, and I was like, they had to pry it out, you know, because that's what I wanted to do. But that was an issue for them. So it was literally, it's not that there was any rule book that said you cannot have a messy bun on top of your head. It's just subjective to whoever is looking. Mm-hmm. And that makes it even harder, because then you had the rule of you can't comb in more than three.
Yep.
I'm in 1. It's 1. But then
it's messy.
It's messy.
It's not neat.
Right.
Because that word neat is thrown around a lot when it comes to hairstyle. Can I tell you how many meetings that I've had to go to when I was working in corporate with this hair? Oh my Lord. Can I tell you how many times I had to defend my hair? You understand? And people ask me all the time, but actually, so, you know, what is this? And I've done a lot of different things with my hair. I used to relax my hair. I've worn weaves. I've worn braids. I had it cut short at a point. I've been very, very flexible with my hair. And the reason why I mean, other than the fact that I like it and it's cute, I do this for little girls. And let me tell you what I mean. You know, because of my other job, I spend a lot of time in schools. And when I go to school and a little girl looks and see that me and she are the same hairstyle.
Representation matters.
My word, a whole day make. Mm-hmm. I remember I went to a primary school in Clarendon High, Mineral Heights, and the little girl had tiny bumper. Like it was a Monday, and she could not get over how me and her have the same hairstyle. I had to take a picture with her, and she was so excited. And one of the things that I think it is so important for me is to show them that you can be glamorous just the way you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because even right now in 2026, glamorous is the bust down wig and the eyelash and whole heap of makeup, and it's it's gorgeous. And I'm not saying that to say that there's something wrong with that. I'm just saying that's not the only representation of glamorous. And that is why, by design, whenever I know I'm going on TV, I make sure that my hair tiny bomb. I don't know if you ever realize that. Whenever I'm going on stage and I know the Governor General, the Prime Minister, somebody like that's going to be there, I make sure that my hair is in bumps. Whenever I find myself in any sort of high profile space, I do it on purpose because I want that little girl to see me and know that she does not have to spend a whole heap of money to feel glamorous and to look glamorous and to be in glamorous spaces. And that is why I do it for them. But I do it you know, much people have opinions.
Yeah. Yeah. And representation matters. And, you know, even on the hair thing, like, for me, it wasn't even as bad. My messy bun was like a little phase and it was a little blurb on the screen, right? You have people, like, I found that the hairstyle rules were so, I guess, another carryover from colonialism.
It is. A lot of these rules,
yeah,
they are that old, to the point where the people who made those rules, they have adjusted their rules and move on long time, and we're still
we hold on to it.
Holding on to it.
Right.
And we can say that about a lot of things.
A lot of things.
If you look at some of our laws, there's room for modernization. Trust and believe.
Okay.
Anyhow, let us move on to our scenario. This segment is called "What Would You Do?" Let me read the scenario. Come on, know what you that do, Miss Jean. What your name, Gianna? Miss Gianna. So you've been invited to a high-profile event, maybe a work function, a panel, or even a networking mixer. You take your time, pick an outfit, what makes you feel confident, you know, your own style, right? You arrive, and not long after, someone in authority pulls you aside. They say your outfit is inappropriate, it's too revealing, or it's not aligned with the tone of the event. Here's the thing. You're covered, you're comfortable, and nobody mentioned a strict dress code beforehand. Now you're standing there caught off guard. What do you do?
Okay. I love this question. You know why I love this question? I mean, we never spoke about this, so this question is my first time seeing it. And this has happened to me so many times.
Oh.
Because I am plus sized in a country where they believe that if you're plus sized, you must be fully covered from your chin down to your toe point, right? Because anything you wear on, the clothes must very loose.
Yes.
Because anything that could show any sort of shape that is outside of the normal slim and trim, dainty, you understand? Anything besides that, I don't know if it's that they're worried that they will be too attracted to you, or the voluptuousness is just too much for them to take.
Gianna, have you seen you? You come into the room and everybody stop talking and look by you. Okay, you look good still, but that's I said. Maybe them just said, no, that shit too much. Because tone it down. Like, it's too much. To cover it up. It's too much.
Yes. So I have been called aside many times, sometimes not by the person in authority. Like, my most famous one is a major company that I used to work for. The secretary of the CEO called me aside. It was a work function to say that my skirt was too short. The funniest thing happened at that work function. You know, they call it a fashion faux pas when somebody else shows up in the same dress as you. Somebody else was in the same dress, but they were skinny.
Oh.
And so
you never look too short, Panda.
Theirs was acceptable. Same amount of space above the knee. But mine was an issue, and you saw every curve on mine.
I think that was the problem. That is what I thought the problem was. I think the other girl never have no curves, and you have all the curves that she should have get. I think that's the problem.
So how I dealt with it was, I was a plus size model at the time as well. And I said, this is just how my body is. And this is what I represent. And she was like, but it's not in keeping with the corporation. And I said, I guarantee you by tomorrow, nobody's going to question my work based on what I was wearing this evening. So it's not really my problem. I can't really deal with that. Now, maybe it was my problem. Maybe they were making decisions about my future because of what I wore that night. But again, what they say behind me, I can't deal with either.
You don't worry about that.
So for me, maybe I've lost opportunities, Shelly. Maybe I could have climbed the career ladder much more if I were not as voluptuous, But guess what? I can't help that. I am voluptuous. So I'm going to wear what looks good on me and what makes me feel good.
Jenna, not for the time of bad mind, can you look good? Look, you have some, listen, first of all, I just pick some nice, good-looking, hot friends, My friends are hot and good-looking because you're not my only fat friend. And I have another fat friend where I like Japs too. And they look good. And Jamaican women have a confidence that we need to find a way to bottle the confidence of a fat Jamaican woman and sell it. Jamaica would be the richest country on the planet.
But I'm going to big up the Jamaican men in this
As you should.
because it's kind of hard to not have confidence in a country where so many men show appreciation to the plus size woman.
Sometimes with a lot of poetry.
Sometimes it's overboard and not welcome and way too much. But other times you find it's like you can't even, sometimes, you're walking down the street, and you're like, straight faced and everything, and they say that poetry, and it's like you can't help but laugh, and you're like, boy, like it is what it is. So their appreciation of the female form in all types, I find to be one of the things that helps with the confidence in Jamaica, because, and you know what, they're very confident too.
Oh yes, man.
If they see Lisa Hanna, Tony Ann Singh, and they're pushing a push cart, I'm telling you, they're going after them.
Where you gonna Lisa Hanna and Tony Ann Singh? See you. First of all,
I'm talking about Miss World here. Like
I know the point you're trying to make, but I'm just letting you know that the confidence of a Jamaican man, no normal.
No.
Because one man look for me already, him have one tooth. Believe me when I tell you, say, gums and a tooth. And the man look for me and make me know, say, he might climb maca tree naked for me.
Okay.
And then him smile.
And that's what you saw.
With the one tooth. And it look like him take care of the one tooth, like at the last tooth. And him say, you know what, I'm not losing this one. Because the tooth pristine, And him smiling at me, Like say, oh, me I go carry more with me with him one tooth. So trust and believe you are correct. Big up Jamaican man. Cause when them say poetry, lyrics fine,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like what you see so far? Subscribe to our YouTube channel at I Have a Question Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at I Have a Question Podcast, JA. Got a question? We want to hear from you. Send it to ihaveaquestionja@gmail.com. We'll be right back.
But I have a question for you.
Okay.
In that same scenario, you don't have the challenges I have. So maybe you haven't had this scenario all the time like I have, where you're wearing something normal or something that makes you feel good and they find it inappropriate.
Well, I don't wear normal things, so let's start there. So yes, our challenges might be different, but I have had the challenge because you know me, I like bold, I like you're gonna see me coming from all the way down there, so I like my African prints, and I wear my hair the way I wear my hair. And usually I'm not wearing brown and beige and those kind of colors. So I'll find myself at an event, for example, I was invited to a black tie event and I wore this African print dress. The dress like was 4 yards of fabric, whole heap of dress. And the print was bold. And, everybody was speaking about it. It was a wonderful, fabulous dress. But for the people who thinks that, oh, it was distasteful, or I should have thought black sequins itself something more toned down. It was too much for the event. That's a quote. It was too much for the event. I just let them know that I note their opinion and I moved right along.
Okay.
And but the person's opinion is the opinion that most people would value, because it's somebody who is in the fashion space, and they would be very interested to know what this person thinks about them. But I didn't care what that person think about what I was wearing, because number one, it was a Jamaican designer. The dress was fabulous, and everybody else complimented the dress. So it just felt like if I was going to have a feeling about how everybody else felt about the dress other than me, why would I harp on the one person who had a problem just because this one person is supposed to be an expert or important or whatever? So, that never killed my vibe. I walked in with my Wally-Pa frack and felt wonderful and fabulous.
A lot of these experts or whatever it is, important.
Yes, they're
bad mind too,
And usually them don't stay good. I said what I said.
Oh, many times.
A lot of the times them don't dress in the way that gives them
the credence for what they're
comment about what anybody else is saying. Come here, my Christian friend, or the verse go. Take this thing out of your yard before you start. Look over what go. Take the verse, where the verse go. Take the speck out of your eye, the tree out of your eye before you go tell somebody else to take the speck out of theirs. Is one of them things. Yes, man.
Yeah. So
anyway, let me just tell you, sir, we are going with ourselves.
Are we?
Right? Because we are at the segment of the show now where we're going to be giving our final thoughts, because we're nearly about to wrap up.
Oh.
Look how much things we talk about. Jeez, yeah, man. So my final thoughts, let me start first, is we need to get to a point where we stop judging people just by what they have on. And I'm saying that with a caveat, because I think that how you dress should be a sort of sprinkle to how you feel. It shouldn't be just, okay, I'm dressing this way because I want to fit in, or I'm dressing this way because this is what is the fashion. It should also be, I am dressing this way because this is just an external representation of how I feel internally. And we also have to recognize that poverty is a thing. And sometimes we don't always get to wear what we would like to wear. We have to wear what we have. And so sometimes that is not going to be appropriate for the thing that we're in, which is why on the side of the receiving party, I'm saying keep an open mind, because somebody might have something on that you might see is a little tattered and you're going to judge them for it, when the truth is that's all they have, and you won't know if you won't give them a chance. So I'm saying you can have the thought about how them address, but give them a chance anyway, because there might be more there.
Right. But tattered became high fashion years ago anyway, thanks to Kanye West. So, I mean, tattered cannot be the reason. I do a lot of closet organization and thing. And I found a shirt the other day that I absolutely love. It's a knit and it has holes in it. And Shelly, I refused to throw it away because I said, they have holes in the ones that you're buying now, and they put it there on purpose.
What the brand? I love always have the clothes. Them when it look like some old clothes.
No, Yeezy. Isn't that one?
Yeah, man, Yeezy, man. There's a Balenciaga.
Oh no.
Them have some old
They're
clothes.
just trolling people, though. They're just trolling people. They no. And if you shop from them, you were the when the world started going mad, you're like the antithesis. Is like you started. Those Balenciaga shoppers, you are the ones who started this whole mess in the whole world. Right. Because no, that is ridiculous. No. And some normal things that you can buy at a flea market and they're selling it for thousands of dollars and people are buying it. Send me that money. We need sponsorship here at I Have a Question. You send it over here and I will even style you. We'll put it in there. Right?
Let's say we have tear clothes. You wear some tear clothes at an episode.
Yeah. But you can wear the tiara, but you're not spending thousands of dollars on it from these places. No. All right. So for me now, I'm going to go with the church people actually, because you know that come as you are thing. I find that, and it's not all church people, right? There are lots of church people that are very accepting of people and accommodating of people,
right,
whether it is based on what they can afford or their personal choices,
style,
right? So there are some very accommodating ones, but you have some who just aren't.
Yes.
And I just don't understand, because if God is saying, come as you are, right? And God is also saying, judge not lest ye be judged, if he's the one who said that, right? So you understand? So all of these things, I just don't understand why you would allow the surface to be where you're focused on. Because as far as I know, and as far as I practice, Christianity is about your soul and your heart, what is within. So I can't look at the packaging when it comes to those things. Like, yes, I can look at the packaging in the case of the guy walking in to want a job. Like, that's a different situation. But we should all be dealing with each other on a soul level when it comes to religion, spirituality, any of those things. So when you have, and it is, I have also experienced it. It is a judgment by a lot of Christian people. And I think my final thought is going to be, let's be more Christ-like, because Christ actually accepted everyone, right? So let's not focus on that. And let's just
so you're saying your fellow church people to stop judging the people based on how them dress, make them wear them jeans and come to Jesus.
So I'm saying my fellow Christians, because I cannot call myself a church person in all honesty, because I go to church infrequently. But I do have a relationship with God, and I do strive to be.
Jenna, you don't have to convince us. It's fine. You say you're a Christian, we believe you.
No, but I'm not a church person, and you labeled me a church person. And I just want to clear that up so that I don't have a church person saying, when last me see in a church, right? So I'm just making sure nobody's saying yes, right. Right. So, yeah. So I think we can all be kinder. As we started the show, we said that the world has gone mad. Let us try to be a little buffer and try to like calm it down a little bit. And how we can do that is by kindness to each other.
Yeah.
Which means we're not judging people based on what they're coming in. Even me, I'm going to give the guy a chance that has on the tight pants.
A brilliant graphic artist.
He might be, and he could work from home so I don't have to see the tight pants.
That is it.
So, I mean, these are the things.
Maybe that's the source of creativity.
Right.
All right. And that is it for I Have a Question.
See you next time when you have questions. Actually, if you have any questions, though, please drop them down below in the comments.
Yes, and definitely let us know what you think about what we think about our answers to the questions that we've been talking about, right?
Yeah.
So that's it for today's episode. This has been I Have a Question,
where nothing is off limits and everything is up for discussion.
See you next time.
Bye.